This boy is a victim of the Port-au-Prince earthquake on January 12, 2010, that took the lives of more than 200,000 people. I was in Santo Domingo that afternoon on the other side of the same island, about 200 miles away, when I felt that earthquake. And soon I found out that we couldn't communicate with anybody on the other side of the island. We had a team. We were close by. We had worked in Haiti many times before. And we got there less than 2 days after that disaster. There were bodies everywhere, some of them dead, some alive, some almost dead. It was hard to know where to start. We didn't want to operate on people that had little chance of surviving because we had limited resources. And you don't want to operate on a patient on their last day of life. It was originally envisioned as a short-term mission trip, but it turned into a 6-month intense disaster relief effort. And this marked the sudden end of our 5 years in the Dominican Republic because my life was reprioritized. We were fortunate to have a well-established Adventist mission hospital just a few miles away from the epicenter of that earthquake. It was the closest medical facility to the epicenter of the Port-au-Prince earthquake. And I had previously visited the hospital. I remember being saddened and disturbed by the deplorable conditions and lack of care given to poor people at that hospital. But this tragedy was an opportunity to change that. And many people got involved, volunteers, institutions, donors, foreign people, local people, all working together. And more on that story in a few minutes. But the next phase of life led us back to Loma Linda. This was not our first choice, but after reading this book called For God and CME, a book about the life of Percy McGann, I realized this was a mission field where the needs are different, but perhaps no less significant. Percy and his colleague Ed Sutherland were pioneers in the development of several of our Adventist colleges, and in 1903 resigned from denominational employment to start a self-supporting school in Tennessee. The beginnings of ASI are rooted in the work of Sutherland and McGann and the self-supporting ministries that resulted from Madison College. Ed Sutherland became the first president of ASI when it started in 1947. And by that time, McGann had passed away after serving for 3 decades as the president of the College of Medical Evangelists and the dean of the medical school. Percy McGann is my great-great-grandfather, and he is now the first of 6 consecutive generations of Loma Linda doctors in our family. He served over Loma Linda at a delicate time. The budget was tight, second-rate medical schools were being shut down, and some of the leadership felt that it would be more practical to have a school for basic training of healthcare workers than to support a full-fledged medical school. But Ellen White, a good friend of McGann's, said to make it a school of the highest order. And I'm not sure she literally had a 16-floor glass tower in mind, but we can all agree that it is a school of the highest order. And I'm grateful for that. Secondly, it is a school with a focus on training doctors and healthcare providers to go to parts of the world where others don't go. And it's this second part that we especially need to protect. I loved my work at Loma Linda. I had an opportunity to engage with students and residents, do frequent short-term mission trips to Haiti and other places. In the meantime, our boys were advancing in their education, and my wife started anticipating a transition as a mother and was urging me to consider a move back to Haiti.